Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So in today's AFK journey video, we're going to talk about the ultimate team building guide for beginners from AFK stage pushing angle. So for today's video, instead of telling you guys the best teams, the best units, the best combos, we are going to use other viewers' account and then discussing about the basics of team building so that you guys know what to do with your own account for all these different challenges. Without further ado, we're gonna go into the team ups and we're gonna find a few different accounts, try to clear a few different stages and talk about the team builds. So starting off, I chose Turo here. So a Turo's account is, I'll say, like pretty new, really like underdeveloped because there's no Supreme Plus characters in this account, right? So it is one of the best for a beginner discussion for the team building side with whatever units you have right here. So first of all, before you get to your Iron Armors combo, right? Before you get to your Harak, your Tailing combo, right? So usually that's the combos that we talk about. So like for a Toro right here, he doesn't even have armors in the account. What do you do, right? What do you build your account around? So if you are in this sort of situation, usually you will need a frontliner with the ability to hold the fort. So that is why we have your Smoky Coco combo with Brutus, for example, because you have Coco as well as, well, Arturo doesn't even have Coco here, but anyway, like usually, right, this Mauler team with maybe like Smoky, for example, is the way to go because like Mauler has a very solid frontliner with really good support with carry inbuilt into the team. So the idea of team building is usually having a good frontliner with enough support to get to the winning condition for your team setup in general. So this is the team, but if you take a look at Arturo right here, his Maulers are pretty weak, right? So this sort of Mauler team doesn't apply to him because these units are not the strongest in his account. So what do you do if, let's say, you don't have all those units that are OP for the combo? Looking at his account right here, we do have Antandra, which is decently built up at the legendary tier. So I guess to a certain extent, you can use Antandra as a frontliner. And then Shamira is one of the strongest carry unit in the game right now. And looking at the opponent right here, obviously, the other part of team building is looking at the enemies. So looking at the enemies in the different game modes, looking at enemies in the Dream Realm side, looking at the enemies in the AFK stage pushing side to do your planning for your unit. But because for his account, right, we are so limited on the units, the best we can do is building the best team with whatever we have right now. So looking at this, he has, I'll say Sisia built up, so I guess you can definitely run Sisia for a little bit of control and additional DPS. This is because Sisia is built up here, right? But if you're new to the game, don't build up this unit. Even though she's one of your first S level character, but she falls off quite hard for the different game modes, so like she might be able to help you in the earlier stages, but you'll start to struggle with her the later you go. So like I don't recommend, but this is what we have, so we're gonna play what we have. Then we'll roll one for the energy cycling. I think we need some healers for this team because like it doesn't look like we have the ability to regen, right, based on the unit. So we'll throw in a Hewin here. Ideally we want to use Torrent, but his Torrent is so frail. I guess we can do this. So we do this setup and then we put Torrent as a tank, for example, right? Let's see how it works. And then looking at his artifact, pretty basic, so we're going to use the strongest one, Sanctum Spell, with the additional heal, right? So this is the bare bone basic of the team with this sustain with the idea of a carry carrying you. So right now the strongest carries in the meta includes the likes of Bonnie, includes the likes of Shamira, obviously, includes the likes of Tasi, for example. So this is the bare bone basic. Seems like the Torrent was able to survive and then the Shamira is able to come online. So let's push a few more stages. This is a very new account from what I can see, and he doesn't really have too much built up. So this exact same team idea should be able to carry you through as long as the Torrent is able to buy you enough time for your win condition. So the win condition is you sustaining, Shamira getting the ultimate off, and then winning the earlier stages. So we're going to do one more with this team setup and discuss about how to adjust your teams based on your best units after this one. Okay, so one more and then we are done. Okay, So looking at the battle right now, Shamira is a really powerful AFK stage pushing unit for especially the newer players. So later on, we'll build another team built around Shamira. And it is possible because we do have Hewin, which will give us the factional link into the Wilder side, which is another really powerful faction for pushing itself. Okay, next up we have Sin. So for Sin's case, because we have like more units, right? We have a higher level progression, we are able to showcase more. So this is where your synergies as well as your optimal team setup based on your account comes in. So Shamira is still a viable carry even at the lower tier, and like I mentioned, Cecil actually falls off, right, since he's already at the talent stage 765. So we're not going to use Cecil for this one, but for this team he does have one of the strongest all-around unit for the support as well as a damage dealer. Smokey built up with the EX weapon, so you can build your team around specific units for specific strategy. Smokey is one of them. You can build around your synergies such as your iron armor synergy, but in this case he doesn't have the armors built up to M+. Yeah, he doesn't. Where's his armors is here, legendary plus, so you don't have the EX weapon for the insta route. So what we can do, right, is to build around Smokey, and then we need ways to get the enemies to Smokey, and we need ways to sort of bring all the enemies to the Smokey side, I guess, to the Smokey's ultimate. So for this one, looking at his units, right, I guess we can actually use Tasi for a little bit more control. I think we also need Hewin for some sustain. So let's do this, and then we put a Bonnie, right? So Bonnie is there to slow down the advances of the enemy and also do some damage in the meantime with the Decay Switch debuff. And then we have Iron for the repositioning, with frontlining, with the healing support from Hewin. So we'll try this one, but looking at this team, looking at his artifact right here, we can actually use Soulbound spell. Of course, right? This is where Soulbound spell has a fair bit of defensive capabilities, and then it has that ability that can keep the sustain on your frontmost unit because it heals the HP. Obviously, ideally in most cases you want to use Light Surge, right? You want to use the best artifact, Light Surge as well as Frostfall for the AFK stage pushing side, but specifically for him the best one is Soulbound, right, based on his upgrade. So we're gonna use what he has for his account and then run through the stages. Okay, so we'll do one run on auto first and then see how the team goes. So with the Smoky Charm, right, all these combos and mini synergies gives you that combo piece to achieve your win condition. So just now I didn't mention this, but the unit itself has a charm. So even without the Iron Armors combo, we can still do a Smoky Iron combo or a Smoky Damien combo because of this ability right here, which gives you that first ultimate cast stuns all enemy effect, which is a mini Iron at the start of battle. So if you have enough sustain, if you have enough support, then you have that control at the start, you have the sustain such that your Iron can tank on the front line, you draw enough time such that you get to your Smoky's ultimate. This is where you are able to clear the stage, right? So even if you're not able to clear it with Smoky, you still have the body damage output to back you up. So this is with regards to like those of you guys who might not have the most developed account with the most choices in terms of the units with regards to the Iron combos in general. Armors is not a must, it's a good to have because right now there are a lot more ways to combo with Iron in terms of the insta control side. So that's that, and then let's continue with some more AFK stage. So for this one, if you take a look at the enemy side, Smokey is going to be really annoying because if you let him channel, the opponent's pretty much unkillable. But fortunately for us, because we have Tasi for the control, right, with the Wilder's buff, we have Iron for the control at the start of battle, we have Bonnie with the AoE, with the debuff, and also the control on the ultimate. I think we should do good, so let's start the battle for this one as well. Okay, so the Smoky combo kicks in, right? So in this case, I think if let's say we need to rely on Smoky to win, we will manual the Iron ultimate. If not, I think we can let this team run on auto to clear through as many stages as possible. Okay, so next one, we're gonna do one more and then we're gonna move on to another account. Okay, so with regards to this one, it seems like we don't have an issue with surviving, right? If that's the case, I think we can actually showcase Shamira. Okay, does he have a Ludovic? Because we need like some sort of sustain. Okay, Ludovic's not exactly the most built up. So like units which are pretty stats dependent. Will be ideal if they are built up. So since not built up, we'll go with Shamira, I guess, over Bonnie, because I kind of want to showcase Shamira's power here. So another way is putting Laika, because Laika can speed up the whole team's win condition by giving you haste. But Laika's not exactly the best with magical teams in general. But for stages where you want to get to your stuff, I think Laika is okay. So this is one way to get to our Shamira's ultimate with the attack speed buff, because this ability gives us energy onto the rearmost unit, right? And then the frontmost unit gets HP, which increases their tankiness. So I'll say this is okay as an AFK stage pushing artifact, but in general, you kind of want to upgrade artifacts which are just generally good, right? For PvP, for Dream Realm, for all the different contents. So you want to do your research with regards to the best artifact and then upgrade them accordingly based on the game modes. Okay, so this is basically Iron teams without armors. So there's that, with Shamira as the secondary carry or the main carry for the team. Last but not least, let's go into my Warty Kun's account right here. So Warty is way ahead in terms of the AFK stage side, and this is one of the accounts that I'll say has pretty much everything. All right, so let's say if you are new to the game and you kind of want to see like, hey, how can I play the game with a lot of units? This is where you can go to somebody's account, right? Someone who is really strong, somebody who has all the units, and you try to help them proxy push so that you can understand the different combos and mechanics better. So in this case, most of the time what we do at the super late game stage is go through the records and then just simply copy paste, because you have most of the units, right? So in most cases, like yeah, if the record states that, hey, it's ideal and you have all the units with all the charms and stuff, just copy and then you can go into battle and clear the stage. However, in the much later stages, there are certain units which you would need to manual their skills to ensure efficiency, and Harak is one of them, because this unit is reliant on the feast ability to start killing enemies at the later stages. So this feast ability is slowed down when the Harak is casting the ultimate, because when Harak is casting the ultimate, he will not be able to use his other skills. So this is where you want to manual his ultimate and then you let him, you know, feast onto the enemies accordingly. So this is the ability that starts the kill. So usually the cycle is just manualing the ultimate once and then offing the ultimate and then you're done. So previously we had the Iron Armors combo with Smokey, where we need to manually pull all the enemies in with the Iron ultimate, right? Later on, there's also the Siren team. So once you reach a certain threshold, you can just off the ultimate, because you're just going to rely on Harak's feasting ability to win you the fight. So knowing what your unit do, knowing, you know, like why the unit is ran in the team, or, you know, knowing the team setup in general will allow you to decide, hey, am I going to auto or am I going to manual, right? So this is understanding the game as you go into the late game. So I think once we are done with this one, we can just off the ultimate, because at this point, I think our units will be quite healthy, and then we're gonna finish this battle in the last split second. Okay, so this is from an angle with a very developed account, right? You have everything. Might actually work, but I think due to a difference in charm, specifically maybe on our team in terms of like the different sets itself, we have a different result. So we can actually copy maybe another team, for example, Chibi Sidekick. Yeah, GB Psychic works, levels is in tune, charms. Yep, I guess we have everything. So let's go with this one. So this way, Pheromore will be the carry. I think this is probably safer, because Pheromore's ultimate prevents the healing from Ludovic and then deals a lot of damage. So over Harak's like feasting ability. So right here we have Twins for the sustain. We have the Blizzard for the additional damage. Okay, Tasi for the control, and then once Twin starts to cycle, I think our control should be in place. Okay, and then we just got to make sure that we keep the enemies within Pheromore's sphere, then they will not be able to heal, and then we'll just be able to, you know, bring them down from there. Yeah, so I use Iron Ultimate specifically to pull the enemies closer towards us, and I guess that's pretty much it. Just a showcase for how the end game players play, or at least how I play on a day-to-day basis. In most cases, if you play the game long enough, for the AFK stage, it's just you know, lock in and just auto battle and choose the best team in most cases, which is actually quite relaxing from time to time. And then you can manual as you like, you know, if you like some hands-on activities within the game itself. Thank you very much for tuning in. To remember to like and subscribe to see more, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.